The first thing I noticed about the property that I was being escorted to was how massive and isolated it was. Beautiful was the next thought that came to mind. The immaculately groomed property was magazine-worthy. Each bush, shrub, and flower added just the right amount of something, which created the backdrop to a perfect, natural greenery canvas. I wasn't used to this type of scenery. From birth until now at 32 years of age, I had been a city girl. Growing up on the South Side, in the hood, left me with memories of singular streets lined with cinder block buildings, made into quads that housed 4 families. Even now as an adult, my preference was the 2-bedroom apartment which I rented in a high-rise near the Ponce Market. This was suburbia at its finest, but made sense considering who the home belonged to. Righteous Long. My stomach was in knots, and I felt my hands grow slick from perspiration. This would be the biggest story I had written thus far. Internally, I felt anxious and a little nauseated, still in disbelief that the universe had aligned to allow me the opportunity. My eyes surveyed the massive wrought iron gate, where my driver paused waiting for it to open so that we could continue. That was another thing. Wright had given explicit instructions on how this would work. He was a peculiar man, in my opinion, or rather, he had turned into one. My personal vehicle wasn't allowed on his property. I was to be driven to and from by a service of his choosing. For 1 month, I would be with him, in his home, traveling when he traveled, documenting his life. For most, this was the opportunity of a lifetime. I would say for me as well, but I was uncomfortable about being exiled with a man I knew nothing about. Well, that wasn't exactly the truth. I knew plenty of statable facts about the man. He was a football phenom, first-round draft pick who'd spent 10 years in the NFL prior to the tragic car accident that ended his formal career in the league, and had resulted in the loss of his sister. There were so many records broken by this man that he should have been in every Hall of Fame imaginable. However, as of late, he'd been blackballed from society as a disappointment, a waste of talent. Righteous was a 30-something phenom whose career was over and done with.